Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Lutfi Muhammad Hamdan, and I'm making this video as my final project for the approach to translation course guide by my lecturer, especially Mr. Semenik. And in this video, I'll be answering 5 out of the 10 questions I was given. There are not any particular order, but I'll let you know which question number I'm on for each one. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Question 1. Translation product versus translation process. The translation product is simply the final result of the translation work, which is the text that has been translated from the source language to the target language. This product could be a document, a book, an article, or any other finished text. The translation process refers to the series of steps a translator takes to create the product. It starts with understanding the source text, analyzing its meaning, and all the work that goes into producing the final target text. A personal example. Translation product. A news article I translated from English to Indonesian for a class assignment. The finished document is the product. And the translation process, the step I took to get there, reading the whole article first, spotting tricky words, analyzing the sentence structures, translating it paragraph by paragraph, and finally, proofreading and revising it. Question 3. Functional theory of translation. The main point of the functional theory of translation, also known as Scopus theory, are: the goal dictates the strategy. The translation should be shaped by the purpose and function it means to have for the target audience. Target audience. The translator has to really think about who will be reading the translation. Context. You need to consider when and where the translated text will be used. And flexible fidelity. Loyalty to the source text isn't rigid. It can be adjusted to meet the functional needs of the translation, and how this applies to procedural text. This theory is super helpful for procedural text like manuals or instruction, because their function is very clear to give information and instruction. A translator using this theory might use terminology that the Indonesian audience is more familiar with, change sentence structure to make the instruction easier to follow, and add extra explanation if needed to make a thing clear. Question 4. Translation sieve. A translation sieve is a change that happens when moving from a source language to a target language simply because the two language systems are different. Two common types of sieve from English to Indonesian. If we look at the grammatical shift, for example, the book is on the table. It means buku itu ada di atas meja. This is a shift from English be plus preposition structure to the Indonesian ada plus preposition structure. Now, we're gonna talk about lexical shift. Example, I'm feeling blue. Saya sedang merasa sedih. This is a shift from a literal meaning of blue or biru in Indonesian language to the figurative meaning of sedih or sad. Question 5. Equivalence at word level versus above word level. Equivalence at word level is when you find a direct by 1-to-1 match for a single word. This usually happens with concrete nouns or a simple term. Equivalent above word level is about finding match for meaning at phrase, clause, or sentence level. Here, the overall meaning is more important than the individual word. Example from my own translation experience. In word level, for example, is house. It means rumah, a direct equivalent. Above word level, break leg. It means semoga berhasil. This is an idiom. You can't translate it word for word. You need to equivalence above the word level because every language has its own unique idiom, expression, and structure that just don't have a literal counterpart in other language. And question 8, connotation in translation. In translation, connotation is the extra layer of meaning or the emotional vibes a word or phrase has beyond in basic dictionary definition. Example, a literal translation fail. A English source. You are such a dog. This has a negative meaning, like someone is shameless or promiscuous. In failed literal translation, in Indonesian translation, you atau kamu seperti anjing. You are like a dog. A better translation, it means kamu nakal sekali or dasar kamu. You are so naughty or you're unbelievable. In that specific English context, dog has a strong negative connotation, but in Indonesian culture, calling someone a dog, it means anjing, is a such harsher and more direct insult and doesn't carry the excess same nuance. So the translation or the translator needs to find a word or phrase in the target language that carries a similar emotional weight and connotation. And that's it, that's all. 5 questions I have been answered for this final examination of the approach to the translation. If you found something or the bad explanation, I hope you will understand that. And I'm Lutfi Hamdan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.